In 2009, the History Channel premiered a television show about a Las Vegas pawn shop named the world-famous Gold and Silver Pawn Shop. The show, Pawn Stars, began something that the show's creators were not expecting. They started an entirely new reality television genre. Antiques Roadshow was the first, but it did not have the support or popularity to become a leader. Pawn Stars paved the way for shows like Storage Wars and American Pickers to become hit shows because of the excitement viewers get from uncovering a hidden treasure that had been hidden from the world for many years. Over the years, the show has seen some incredible and rare items come through their doors, and we went through all the episodes to find some of the most expensive items ever purchased in the shop. Please consider to like and subscribe to this channel for more content, and remember to turn on the notification bell. Number 1. 1715 Spanish Empire Peru gold coin worth $18,000. Most people inherit land, businesses, or family heirlooms like old paintings or a collection of baseball cards. But rarely do people inherit a rare, unique Spanish Empire gold peso, which was actually minted in Peru. This rare find was brought into the shop by Jody, its owner, and she knew she had something that was worth a lot of money. She just wasn't sure how much. From what she discovered doing her own research, she valued the coin at $18,000. Its value came from the story behind it. In 1715, it was part of a giant treasure of loot worth nearly $14 million that was being brought to Spain on a fleet of ships leaving Havana. It did not take long for the guys to strike a deal, and they made the purchase for $11,000. Number 2. Edward Curtis Photogravures worth $20,000. A woman came into the shop with 4 sets of American Indian photogravures. They were all done by Edward Curtis. Without having any knowledge or experience with these types of items, Rick had no idea what it was worth, and the owner simply wanted $50 for the set. So he took it, and it turned out to later be discovered that these were extremely rare and valuable, and worth nearly $20,000. It remains his largest return of investment. Number 3. The Egyptian Cartonnage Mummy Mask, $30,000. So, when Dr. Phineas Castle was asked to come to the shop and verify if a customer's ancient Egyptian mummy mask was a real deal, it took him a few seconds before knowing that we were looking at the real thing. He put the value around $22,500, but said it was so unique it could go higher to a collector. Corey decided he wanted this piece and eventually had no choice but to pay the asking price of $30,000 to own it. Number 4. Poland's Order of the White Eagle, $30,000. The emblem of Poland since the 1300s was the white eagle depicted on this item, but when Russia took over, they simply added it to their emblem, the two-headed eagle, which is seen at the bottom of the piece. So it is Polish, but not in a sense that it came from Poland, but rather had ties to Poland thanks to Russia owning it and creating this beautiful piece that is as close to fabric quality as it comes. Rick tells the authenticator that he purchased it for $6,000 and found out it was worth at least $30,000. Number 5. 1554 Spanish gold bar from a shipwreck, worth $50,000. The owner acquired this piece of gold after cleaning his attic and noticing something that was probably worth a good amount of cash. After hearing that the meltdown value of it was $24,000, negotiations began to discuss buying it. The owner of the bar was offered $35,000 and he took it. It would later turn out to be worth $50,000. Number 6. Mary Ford's 1961 Gibson SG Les Paul guitar, worth $150,000. It was one of those moments that remains one of the greatest in Pawn Stars history because they were looking at a 1961 Gibson SG Les Paul guitar that was played by the wife of the man who created it. It's like having Babe Ruth's grandson bring in a signed Ricky card of him. It doesn't get much better than that. After an expert confirmed the value of it to be close to $150,000, a deal was made for $90,000. Number 7. The Beatles' original contract, worth $1 million. When it comes to music, the Beatles are among the 5 greatest musical groups of all time. Their music is timeless and continues to be played in 2020. They have sold 600 million albums around the world and have 20 Billboard #1 hit songs since they decided to form the group nearly 60 years ago. But none of that would have been possible without an official contract, which was written up and signed by John Lennon, George Harrison, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and their manager, Brian Epstein, back in 1962. That original, and the only one in the world today, was brought into the store one day and the seller wanted a cool $1 million cash for it, not a penny less. It was a bit much, and they simply had to pass. Before we continue to the most expensive item on this list, here are some honorable mentions. JFK Cigar Humidor, worth $575,000. Jimi Hendrix 1963 Fender Stratocaster guitar, $750,000. Robosaurus, $1 million. And the most expensive item ever shown on Pawn Stars is number 8, George Washington's 3-piece colonial suit, worth $2,500,000. In honor of Pawn Stars' 500th episode, they decided they were going to do things a bit differently and go after big ticket items. So Rick headed off to see Brian, a private dealer, in regards to some presidential memorabilia that he was looking to sell. But when Brian unveiled the item, it was a 3-piece suit once worn by George Washington back in the 1750s. After the suit was unveiled, Rick was amazed and really wanted to buy it, but Brian, who bought it at an auction, was not really looking to sell and threw out an asking price of $3 million.